What is up, everyone? Welcome to RollPlay week number 30. Neal.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Did you wake up in an alley? Whatever. The show's live. Everyone's in a good mood. Jeff got to watch the end of his game, I think.
Yes, and they won.
And they won.
God.
He's also the newest member of Team Liquid, so that's okay news. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's not the
It's
best
beautiful news. Look at that. It's a great color shirt.
It's not the best news ever. Breger, what have you been up to? You got a sub button on your Twitch.
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit.
That sub button. It's been pretty sick.
Got a sub button on your Twitch. Jim, what have you been up to?
I have a sub button on my Twitch. No, just kidding.
You do have a
Nothing
sub
much.
button?
I wanted to go to WCG and ended up not going.
WCG. I like how you say it like Wheat makes fun of it. It's good.
Me. How do people pronounce it?
I don't know. You prolong the W when you say it.
WCG.
There you go. You gotta say it faster. You gotta say it faster. Well, here we are, week 30. I collected some stats because they're kind of crazy. We started the show on February 17th, which is kind of nuts because it's September. Roughly,
We seriously started that long ago?
yeah, roughly 113 hours have been played throughout this campaign. 198 VODs on YouTube. And throughout the playlist, there's been over 1 million views. We just broke 1 million views, I think, last week or something like that. So
Nice.
Nice.
pretty crazy.
Tap, tap.
Pretty crazy. We also had 5,100 people listening to terrible music waiting for the show to start, which I don't... That's crazy to me. I don't understand that, but...
I kind of had a question about the music, actually.
Yeah, what's up?
It's like, did Cotton Eye Joe steal his girl? Or, like, what's up with that?
I don't know. I don't know the story of Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's up.
You gotta wiki it. There's probably a story.
Yeah.
There's always a story. Neal, where did we last leave off? We were on the back of a dragon, I believe.
Last you left off, you were on the back of Thraxeldor, flying to the east.
Okay. Does anyone want to do anything on the dragon? I don't really want to disturb him as he's flying.
I'm gonna pet the dragon.
Okay.
Actually, I recommend to Gregor to pet the dragon. I'm like, maybe you can
Time up to
animal
three.
empathy him.
No, I want to test and see how deep the coins are embedded.
Coins are embedded on his underside, not on his back.
Oh, never mind.
Jesus.
It's just a test. I'm not trying to, like, get the money or anything.
He's trying to get that money, man.
Sure.
Just trying to
sure.
see, if they're, like, in there deep or what.
Oh, God. Vincent, do you want to do anything? You want to just fly?
If anything, I'm actually carefully watching my comrades because they've proven to be idiots on dragons before. So
Well, they were never... Breger was never on a dragon, to be fair.
in and around and near dragons,
There you
they've
go.
proven to be idiots. So.
There you go. All right, Neal. I think... Did you update the map to tell us where we're going to?
I did. I
Okay.
did. If you take a look at the map, there is now a big splotch of forest. And
Yeah,
that
let's
is where
show
you
this
guys
off.
are headed.
Let's show this
On the
off.
far right.
So where were we going again?
To the big splotch of forest on the far right called...
But
Yada-
why?
He said he was going somewhere where you guys could discuss and possibly gather more information.
Okay.
Okay.
Because the armies of Uncle Oris are headed east.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I didn't remember well.
How do you
Okay.
pronounce this name? La
Yada
Yara...
Orin.
Oh, fuck. Can we just say
What did
Y-O?
you say?
Yada Orin. You can call it the ancient
Let's
trees.
call it
That's
Shanghai.
the common translation from Elvish.
Shanghai.
Let's call it Shanghai.
And
yeah.
henceforth, the Dandelion's home place is called Shanghai.
Dandelion.
Shanghai money grabbing Rakapa.
Oh, God. With Lord Raekwon at the helm of the city. Oh, that's how it's going to do. Don't worry, Neal. You can do this to me in my campaign, too.
Oh, I will. Oh my god, it's gonna be great.
Exactly. All right, so we're flying to the ancient trees, or Shanghai, or whatever. Is that
Yeah, no.
Elvish?
It's Elvish. This place is the ancestral elven homeland. It is where it is said that elves were first brought to this world. And once upon a time, this forest was huge, but most of it was destroyed during the first Ogre Wars, and these trees grow very, very slowly.
Neil, I have a very important question for you then. If we were to write the name of this place down, could Abigail read it?
Ooh.
No.
Yeah, nice. So she's actually illiterate in her own homeworld language as well.
So I need to ask Gregor to teach me Elvish writing.
However, both of you elves are keenly aware of this place and know it to be like the original heart of elfdom.
So it's like the Adam and Eve of elves were there.
No, because they didn't just make 2 elves and then they inbred forever. This was more of like a mass production of elves by the gods.
Mm.
So it's like England with only some inbreeding.
Yes. Yes.
So, as I think about that, I'm like, oh my god, Gregor, this is so romantic. I
What do you do
always
with your-
wanted to go here.
What do you do with your hands while you're saying this?
You
I
let go of
put
the
one
dragon?
on its shoulder. I'm like, Gregor.
Just the shoulder?
Yeah, just for now. For now. Like, don't
Gregor,
you wish?
how does that make you feel?
Didn't you always want to go there, Gregor?
Go there.
It's a spot
Oh,
near
God.
and dear to my heart. Yes.
Me too.
More closer to another part of your body, I would imagine, but yes. Hand still just on the shoulder, I suppose.
Yeah. For now.
Neil, hurry up, please. We gotta get
Yeah,
off
Okay, I
this
was just
fucking
waiting for them
dragon.
to finish
No,
their
no,
presentation.
it's fine, Neil. Don't worry, don't worry.
He takes a long
Asriel's
time.
getting real fucking weirded out on this fucking dragon, man.
So where have we
Isn't this
landed?
Wonderful.
You guys land inside the forest.
Along this road?
Actually, you land to the north of the road.
In the forest
I'm sorry,
itself?
to the south. Yeah, to the south of the road in the forest.
Okay.
And as you land, at first it looks like just a giant fucking cluster of trees, and he's gonna like land on top of the trees or something. But he circles down and like manages to push some trees apart with his giant talons and legs, and lands below. And you notice that you are actually in the middle of a fucking city that you could not see from above.
What
and
kind
there
of
are
city?
elves.
A tree fort?
No, it's mostly stone and wooden buildings, like beautifully carved together. They look absolutely gorgeous. All this like marble that's woven, kind of like tree trunks almost, into different shapes. And then you actually have some buildings that are made from like the roots of trees that have been shaped to grow in certain paths.
Okay. Asriel's
So-
studying the stone and he's very impressed.
No, it's like drop dead gorgeous and phenomenal, except for all the elves running around going, "Oh my God, there's a dragon!" Except in Elvish.
Okay. Asriel's still more interested in the stone than the elves.
Yeah.
I step
This
off
is
of
beautiful.
Thraxador and say, "Calm yourselves, people of the Elven City. It's a friendly-ish dragon. Kind of."
Yeah.
I say, Vincent, I don't believe they understood you. You're going to have to get one of the elves to speak for you.
Gregor, please calm your people, please.
Well, isn't like common, like the second language? Like a lot of people know common,
A lot of people know Common.
so they probably
It's
understood.
quite possible that they know Common.
Yeah.
Thraxador, why did we come here? Help us out, friend.
He says, "We are here to seek the wisdom from the elves." And at that point, you hear the sound of drums from behind you guys, and you all look back over the back of Thraxador, and you see that he's actually landed facing the wrong way, like in front of a throne.
Oh,
And
shit.
there is a elf sitting on this throne that's like 6 or 7 feet off the ground, like there's steps that lead up to it, in this wooden chair with gems stuck in it. And there are a couple of drummers behind him, just kind of like boom, 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 boom. And there's like a large honor guard around them that all have their weapons out, but they're slowly putting their weapons away right now. And from the seat, who of you speaks Elven?
I think
Gregor
just
and
I
the
Abigail.
two
speak
elves.
Elven.
Mhm.
I never chose languages, but
Yeah.
I don't speak Elvish.
Yeah, we're gonna just say you speak Dwarven and Common then.
Yep. That works.
Makes sense. In Elven, you hear Thraxeldor, is that you? And the dragon like turns his head And then like starts doing like a stutter to get around and says, "I'm sorry, the sleep has dulled my mind. I forgot which way you faced." And again, in Elven, the Elven King says, "Who are these humans and this dwarf you have brought into our homeland?"
Who is this human?
Yeah, there's just one.
Lisa,
Oh.
What is she doing in all this?
staying silent with a hand on her sword,
Okay.
Looking stunning.
looking stunning.
I'd
Fierce.
She's like
say.
a 5
Kind of
too.
randomly.
She's like a
She's not a
5
5.
too. Yeah, she's a 5.
The rigors
not
of battle
just-
have hardened her body into a very, very sexually attractive physique.
Five.
A good 7 or something, right?
See, Abigail,
Whoa.
if you didn't just sneak around and actually fought toe to toe, you'd
Yeah.
have a hard body as well.
Abigail
disagree.
has decent runner legs, though, because she runs from most of the fight.
That's true.
So
That
you're
is
saying
true.
she has a
That's the
good.
French Canadian side of her.
Je m'appelle! Hey! And she just like runs off.
Sorry, had to do it.
Oh, God.
Sorry to the French people out there, but not
All right,
really.
so we've covered France and Britain already today. Do we want to do any other?
We can get some Germany.
Oh, we did Shanghai.
We got Shanghai.
China
Yeah.
as well.
All right, so let's just get the whole world by the end of the show. We'll be
Shout out
good.
to those.
No, just
viewers.
Europe. America's fine and dandy. We're all good, but Europe,
The dandelions.
we got to shit all over Europe.
Okay.
It is a JP show after all.
It is a JP show, exactly. All right. So me and Vincent have no idea what the fuck's being said. We just think they're going, ha blah blah blah.
I'm smiling absently and kind of nodding and looking around at people,
Yeah.
I just have this look on my face. It's like,
waving at the women and children. Just
the
like, "Hello."
fuck? Like, what
Hello.
are they fucking saying?
Yes, I'm Vincent Longbourn. Hello. Yeah. We're here on a dragon. We rode a fucking dragon into town. Yes, that's us.
Oh, God. We're waiting for our elves to translate, or
I'm
not.
standing next to Bregor.
Are either of you elves translating?
No.
I mean, they haven't said much, right? They're just kind of greeting each other. Nothing
Yeah.
important. But if something important gets said, I might.
Okay. The
Uh,
elven.
Excuse me, Elven King, do you speak common by chance?
He just like gives you the dirtiest of glares you've ever been given in your entire life.
I just smile back at him.
And the Elven King again to Thraxeldor says, "You have brought these sub-creatures into our home, and they dare to ask us to speak their perverted and twisted language amongst our trees?" Thraxeldor goes, "Well, now. These sub-creatures, as you call them, and as you all are to me, would be of some assistance. Surely you have seen the signs of war." The Elven King kind of nods and says, "I think these 5 here could be quite useful in preventing escalation. We come to seek your wisdom." And the Elven King kind of does like a
I
And
take
then
that as a
comment.
no, then, stinky face.
Well, again, you don't understand anything he's saying.
Yeah.
It's all
Well, I
Elven.
asked a question and they just kind of kept speaking. in
Oh, yeah,
English.
yeah.
I said,
And then in common, he goes, "Who are you?"
you do speak common. I am Vincent Longbourn of the lands to the west, and these are my friends, Bregor and the boys.
Gregor.
I'm one of the boys.
Lisa kind of does like a formal bow and curtsy. It's actually pretty fucking good. Like she's got her curtsies down,
Very fit.
and
I'm gonna
says,
replicate what you did.
And you fart.
she says,
You
I
Roll for
am-
charisma.
Roll to
for
see if you
charisma on
split
that.
your pants.
Roll for
Okay,
charisma
I'm
now.
rolling for goodness, Manuel. We need to know how good this
She
bow
bids
is.
over.
Come on, face.
"Don't roll a 1, Jed."
And her pants.
Oh, shit.
That's the best fucking bow ever. They
Well,
pour
perfect.
money at me. They're like, fuck yeah.
This fucking random 5 does like a triple forward flip, like lands and then like jazz hands on the side. We're all like, Jesus.
Does
Never
this help
before has a
my-
curtsy ever been seen like this.
Yeah.
So the
Go
king
first,
likes
by
it now, right?
The what?
The the king will like me now.
Because you curtsied?
But I nailed.
Guys aren't that easy, okay? I mean, okay, they're kind of easy. They are that easy. He likes you now.
Nice.
Damn it.
I know.
I nailed it.
The Elf King farts back. I stole it from chat. Sorry.
It's the secret language of the elves.
Yeah.
You humans aren't supposed to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We come with. You may have communicated this with our dragon here, Thraxeldor, but there is a great evil arising in the west, and its armies are pillaging and destroying cities and laying waste to everything in its path. I believe we've been brought here to join forces with you to hopefully save our lands.
Who is the dwarf?
That little guy is Azrael. He has a wooden pony named. What was it named?
I'm still checking out the stone. I don't understand it. Or I don't listen to anything you're saying. I'm just
Anyways, he's our little friend.
only because I forgot
Piney.
the name. Piney. There we go. It's a good name.
Why should we trust in the strength of men and dwarves when you failed us in the past? You let our homeland burn during the first Ogren War.
I presume by you mean people that existed many, many generations before me. Since then, I have made it my business to help all those in need to the best of my ability. And Azrael here is a man of balance. He believes in creating equality between good and bad. And I would feel that he'd appease his god by great marks if he were to make up for what his people have done in the past here in a balancing act.
As you say that, I my ears perk up here, and I turn around and I'm like, that is true, Vincent Longborn, but I'm in a company of elves, and I'm a little bit worried right now, as you can imagine. Dwarven and elven people have not lived so kindly together in the past. But as you do say, I'm a man of balance, so I'm looking to perhaps right this wrong. And hopefully you will let me.
He is a strong cleric, Elven King, and the danger I do speak of is far greater than perhaps your concern for a mere man and woman as Lisa is, and then, of course, Azrael. I think we would be more of a help to you than anything else.
Just kind of, And then he switches back to Elven. You two with them. I have yet to see you. What are your names, and what do you think of these sub-creatures that travel with you? He says, kind of with disdain.
As he says that, I smile. I'm like, hee.
Well, I am Bregor of the aforementioned boys, and I think quite highly of Mr. Longborn, and almost as highly of the dwarf.
And the human woman?
She is also good. I nearly
The
forgot.
charisma.
She is also quite...
She is good.
She is good.
And I am Abigail, and I would like to vouch as well for Mr. Longborn. He was there for us in time of need. He saved our lives. And Lisa as well has died in battle. Oh, kind of. She almost died in battle for us, for our cause. So I trust them. And then I don't mention the dwarf.
He pauses and says, and what do you think of the dwarf?
I haven't known him for that long, but he hasn't betrayed me so far, so I guess so far so good, huh?
Hasn't betrayed you?
I don't like dwarves. I'm with you on that page.
So I step in and I say, well, to be fair, we've been betrayed in the past, and so I think she just has her guard up a little bit. More than anything.
I see.
He healed us.
I do see he is a priest.
Mm-hmm.
Although of Quantarius is not necessarily the most promising of signs.
Does he say Quantarius? Or does he say the elven name?
He uses the elven name, but you recognize
I recognize it.
Yes.
So I say, you there, you speak of my god. I must know what you have said.
He looks back at you with kind of dirty eyes, like glaring dirty, not like sexy dirty, and says,
Oh, thank you.
"Yeah, well, I just want to make sure."
I'm like, well, I guess he's aroused
Oh.
me,
He
guys.
looks at you
Whoops.
with sexy, dirty eyes.
He brought it back.
Yeah. And says,
Terrible joke.
"Quantarius is hardly a god of good."
But he is a god, and that's what's at stake here. I'm not sure if you know, but the gods will soon walk among us. We need to be prepared for that. We need to put all this shit behind us, all these silly things from long ago, and start preparing for war, because they're coming, and if we're not ready, we will simply just fade and perish, and all of this bullshit will be for nothing.
What
Not
do
the
you
sexy
mean
kinda
that the
coming either.
gods are about to walk among us?
There's a man in Valesburg, far to the west, who is apparently going to be the vessel of his god. And I stumble for a second, and I kind of wait for everyone, like, dramatic, and I'm waiting for Neil to give me the name of the god, because it starts with a V, and I forgot.
Verasi.
Verasi. And then everyone's like, oh.
You say Verasi is coming?
Verasi is coming. We have it on good authority from Horus, who let us live for some reason. I believe he wants us to see his true power.
And who is this Oris?
Well, he's someone we should have taken care of a long time ago, but I was not with the party at that time. Had I have been, he would not be beyond this realm anymore.
Once again, it seems the humans have failed us.
The humans and the two elves with us failed us. I was not there at the time. The rest of the party was.
I do like a cat.
You what, like a cat?
I do. It's what the cats do when they're like, I don't like you.
You just haven't acted like a cat before, so this is all very
That's a
new.
new thing, yeah. It's a hiss. Roll for hiss.
You can just hiss. You don't have to roll for it.
Okay.
So I say, look, Elven King, or Lord, or whatever name you would like me to call you by. We need to drop all this and begin preparing. We have no time, and the wasted time already has put us back far more than we would have liked for the upcoming fight.
Abigail and Breger, you would know the Elven King's name is Lothlogar.
That's Lagar.
LL Cool J.
I call him Lager.
I call him LL Cool J.
Nice.
That's his name.
I like that name too.
Neil's about to roll for some damage.
Roll for initiative.
We have seen the signs to the east, bannerless armies with no names, proclaiming no alliances, sacking cities. Or to the west, he said.
I'm sorry, repeat that. I heard the very end.
We have seen the nameless armies flying no banners, sacking cities to the west. Our scouts return reports of cruelty, torture, wanton destruction.
So
We are aware of the threat.
So will your people simply hide in this forest, or will you meet them on the battlefield?
How dare you speak to me of hiding, dwarf, when it was your people who hid in the mountains during the last dragon war?
I don't want to fuck with no dragons. I'm sorry that you were out there in the open, able to
Well,
get fucked
maybe
on.
you should start running, because there are dragons amongst this army too.
There's a dragon right here, and I can't run very fast, King.
Listen, friends, no need to throw slings and slander at each other. What is in the past is in the past. What we have now, and what I hear you saying is that you're not as concerned about, is an army in the east risen up by a man who seeks to become a god on land. If this doesn't concern you, Elven King, I unfortunately have to bear you the bad news that it soon will. They are
It
marching
does
in all
concern
directions.
I am quite concerned. I just don't know if I'm willing to pin my hopes on 5 people. Although
Well, we can-
Thraxeldor's
Certainly,
words,
please do not. Pin it on 10,000. Certainly you have a strong army here of sorts, right?
we are gathering our strength. Thraxeldor kind of goes, Lothlogar, in Elven still,
Sure.
have the years really dulled your senses so much? I'm sure many things have happened while I slept, and it has been some 700 years since we last spoke. But you must surely know that these armies walking towards us are more than the elves can hope to deal with on their own. I have acquired 5 people who I feel could be useful. You know what they could do to be useful, and you have the knowledge of where these things are. I give them to you, and the choice to use them or not is yours, but I must go now. And then he starts flapping his wings a little bit, and Lothlogar kind of just glares at him and then mumbles something to someone beside him, who kind of walks off.
Abigail
We'll,
looks at
we'll
the
be in
dragon.
touch. Don't go dying on us.
Thraxalor leaps into the trees, all above the trees, and flies away.
I look at the dragon leaving, hoping that some gold is gonna fall off.
It does not.
I
I'm
realize that
disappointed.
I am now surrounded by elves and 2 humans.
Founded by elves.
I start getting closer and closer to Vincent.
As I see that, I get closer to Gregor.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, so Lothlogar says, "We will entertain you for a while. I am having refreshments brought, and a table will be brought as well. Please sit and refresh yourselves while I discuss this matter with my guards, or with my council."
Okay.
And a table is brought over, although it has no legs, just like a giant, like nice long, smooth board, and they just kind of like sit it in the midair and it floats. And then they bring over some nicely carved wooden chairs and make room for you to sit. And the 5 of you sit down and they bring over food. But it's all elven stuff, so it's like really fine and fancy, but not very filling.
It's great.
And it all of a
French
sudden
food.
sinks in. Oh, that's why
It's like French
Gregor
food.
was so thin. That makes sense.
Mm.
We understand.
Yeah. So the king has 2 of his council members come up, and they start, talking in hushed whispers at the top of the throne. You guys are down and back probably 40 or 50 feet, and you have food brought to you, and water and wine. And then you have a moment to yourselves now.
Perfect. I dig in. I eat everything they give me. Without question.
Okay, it's all pretty good.
Okay. So as I'm eating this, I'm just like, I'm talking with my mouth full to the 2 elves. I'm like, so, this king, what do you guys know about him?
You're gross.
I'm
What?
like,
Keep
huh?
your mouth shut while you eat. This is a polite table.
I'm like,
I
well,
don't know
ma'am,
if it's-
they didn't give me a high seat, so I simply can't see what I'm eating sometimes. I'm just
Yeah,
shoveling food off the
it
table
does
into my
look
mouth.
Pretty ridiculous.
I asked Breger, what do you know about this king?
Neil, what do I know? Because I don't know what I know.
He is the currently residing Elven King in this area. He is known for, in the past, he has been known for his patience and generosity, but after the last Dragon War, some 600 years ago, I think it was, maybe 700 years ago, he became very bitter when, at a certain battle where the humans and dwarves and elves were supposed to gather together, the humans and dwarves failed to show up, and the elves took huge losses. Huge losses because the humans and dwarves didn't show.
Do I know why the dwarves didn't show?
Yeah, dwarves decided they didn't want any part of the war. They figured they could just sit it out underneath their mountain kingdom and then be fine afterwards. Like, let the humans and dwarves deal with it, or humans and elves deal with it. Fuck them.
So did the dwarves give their word that they were going to come and then not show?
There was an old alliance from back in the day that everyone had agreed was still in effect. And it was just kind of presumed that, well, we're still allied with the dwarves, and here comes these freaking, dragons and armies, and oh, look, dwarves didn't show. Humans said they were going to be there. Humans had already been, discussing. Turned out the humans got stuck somewhere, a bridge washed out, and they got caught up in another battle off to the side, so it wasn't entirely their fault, but the elves still have not forgiven them for this.
So, Breger, what do you tell me of this story? Because you can choose what you tell me.
I fill you in on all of it.
Okay.
I gave you a dirty look. Not sexy.
I give the dwarf side of it.
Okay.
And say why the dwarves didn't come out, and that I am sorry for that. I was not of this world yet. And I just go back to eating.
I have half an olive and I'm full.
Okay, perfect.
Do you binge now, or is it...
I'm gonna purge later.
That's a terrible joke. I take it back. I'm sorry. There's some lines I shouldn't cross, and I do.
Yeah.
In fact, that made me sick.
All right.
Oh, God.